I'm going to start my TEDx talk today by telling you how I got my idea. This happened not that long ago, and I'm sure many of you have been in this situation before. It's a Wednesday night, you're doing your math homework. It's been a long day and I have 20 questions to complete by tomorrow. Luckily, I know this stuff like the back of my hand. And I go through all the questions and begin the process of marking, starting at 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 12. I get to question 13 and it's wrong. I look back over it to see if I've made any obvious mistakes, but there are none. I go through the other questions thinking that maybe I've got some others wrong, but they're all right too. Now, I'm sure everyone here is familiar of what the 5 stages of grief are. Going back to my question, I start experiencing these 5 stages of grief, starting with anger, about how could this question be wrong? Next comes depression, with how I'm going to fail at life, you know, all of my hopes and dreams and my family. Next comes bargaining, thinking that maybe if I get this one wrong on the exam, I can sum up for it with my great personality and charm. But that never ends well, and I usually go back to failure. Now, this last stage is the key to my idea: denial. In this stage, you deny everything and try and convince yourself that you are right and the question is wrong. It was during this stage that I created my idea. I convinced myself that the book was wrong and I was right. The poor, tired person who had to write this entire book may have made a mistake. In the state of exhaustion, a 3 may look like an 8. It was through this experience that I learnt, not that the answer was 3, I just copied out the question wrong. No, I learnt that if I kept believing and pushing myself, and sometimes others, into believing that I was right, I built up my self-confidence, perseverance, and imagination. Now, not all experiences on the catastrophic scale are seemingly low as a missing math homework question. A few years ago, I personally went through a time where I struggled with low self-esteem issues, problems managing my anxiety, OCD, and HDD. I would often lay awake until 1 o'clock in the morning, replaying my troubles and worries that had happened just that day. I'd lay there wishing that I had said something, but in the moment was too scared to say it due to fear of judgment. And I wasn't the only kid. According to a children's mental health report, 1 in 8 kids are affected by anxiety and behavioural disorders. 80% of children and teens that have severe anxiety are untreated, with 60% of those cases becoming fatal, whether it be from depression or worse. So I consider myself one of the lucky ones. Anxiety is a normal part of childhood and everyday life. A phase is usually temporary and harmless, but for a child who suffers from anxiety and behavioural problems, experience fear, nervousness and shyness, and they start avoiding places and activities that lead to them missing important life and social experiences due to fear. Now, 2 out of 3 times, most anxiety problems often co-occur, sort of like a double punch, with other disorders like eating disorders, attention disorders like ADHD, or in my case, hyperactivity disorders such as HDD. Now, these statistics can be reduced, but not enough is being done to reduce them. So, how do we decrease these alarming figures? We teach kids the art of being right, not wrong. This art will teach kids the confidence to back themselves until they are counteracted by solid, and this is the most important part, unbiased fact. Now, everyone raise your hand if you have been in a situation where you've wanted to share your opinion, but have been too scared to do it. Yep. Or you've wanted to share your opinion, but found out that everyone else thinks differently, and that you're told that you're wrong simply because your opinion doesn't match theirs. See what I mean? This is the reality for too many young people. Every child, teenager and adult shouldn't be scared to share their opinion for fear of being judged or told they're wrong. So we can stop that little girl laying on her pillow at night wishing she had said something, or wishing she hadn't been frightened to the point of tears for fear of being judged. Without this art, a few years ago, I could have never stood here and told you what I'm telling you now, because fear paralyzes and pressures on you in ways that you can never imagine. But I am now, due to this crazy art form. The art of convincing yourself that you are always right is a great idea until you can prove me otherwise. Thank you.